And in the studio today, some very special guests who are doing something I think is very close to the heart of God, and that is taking care of kids. The foster system we have in our country right now is almost like a modern kind of orphanage. We used to have orphanages, and it was a difficult situation, and stepping into that void and providing a lot of relief is Antioch Adoption. And we have Ezekiel from Antioch Adoption with us today, and a couple of friends we'll get to know here in just a moment. But good morning, Ezekiel.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Really good. Hey, tell us more about Antioch Adoptions. I know this was an outreach of Antioch Bible Church on the east side, right?
Yes. So early 2000s, by the vision of Dr. Ken Hutchison, who is now deceased, Antioch Adoptions was formed to cater to the plight of orphans in foster care, also looking at the discrepancy in cost of adoption for those families that wanted to adopt but couldn't afford to do so. It became just an unbearable situation.
Yeah, anybody who tries to adopt finds that out quickly. This costs a lot of money.
Yes.
And so Antioch Adoption, how are you able to do this for no cost?
Well, let's just say that the average cost, as we will probably find in the culture right now, as of a year or two ago, is about $42,000, right?
Wow.
And that bears legal, some counseling fees, and a variety of other things, including home studies. We will say that if we were to pare down the cost, we come to right around $12,000 to $15,000, but that's based on how long the process takes. Some process may be 2 or 3 years long, some may be 6 months. So, but we have just come around saying that there should be no money exchanging hands for any children, period. That's the gospel. And so we've come down to say we will not charge a single penny, whether it's private adoptions or foster care. And as a result, we have gone about raising money from the church, partnerships there, other donors to do this, and we have not charged a penny for close to 400 kids being adopted.
Wow, that's great success. Coming up here, October is a special, you're calling your Double Impact campaign. Now, tell us about that.
Yeah, so Double Impact, we have a few generous donors that have come alongside us and said, if you, we'll match up to, in this case, 100,000. So we're hoping our goal will be 200,000. That we can find donors that will give to us to match 100,000 given by those generous donors to allow us to probably adopt another 14 to 20 kids with that amount of money. So that's a significant impact on their lives. And as we see it, if you touch the life of an orphan in this kind of an impact, you change generations.
Yeah. And there are a lot of kids awaiting families, forever families, just in the foster care system. Now, you started more with general adoption, but you've moved more towards the foster care system. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's been a huge transition, especially with the foster care system. You not only add the impact of a parent or parents not in the picture, but now you've added the trauma that those kids have usually seen from multiple homes of being in the foster care system. So due to some changing regulations and other things within, again, the cost of adoption has become such a big business that for those of us who want to do it for free, even some of the people that are willing to give children would prefer to work with the for-profit than with us. So a couple of different variations kind of moved us into more of a foster care role. But it's something that, no matter where we are, we would do God's work. And so we are okay with that. And but yeah, the foster care element adds a lot of trauma that we are trying to come alongside and counsel a lot of these kids that are coming to the agency.
Well, it's a great opportunity, and we want to introduce a couple of folks here now. We have Tina and Amanda.
Hi there.
Hi again. So Tina, you're the mom who adopted Amanda. Amanda, hi.
Hello.
Now, you adopted Amanda when she was just 3?
She was a baby, but yes, the adoption came through when she was 3.
So what's that been like? What's it been like working with Antioch Adoption?
Antioch has been a great organization. We originally, my husband and I, when we wanted to adopt, our biggest setback was that we couldn't afford it. And through a series of divine appointments, really, we ran across Antioch Adoptions, who presented this no-fee adoption, which made it possible for us to even consider and then move forward in this arena. And so, what has Antioch done for us? Everything. We now have 2 beautiful girls because Antioch made a way for us when we couldn't afford it.
How's it feel to be part of this wonderful family now, Amanda?
I feel very blessed to have the family that I have, and I'm very thankful for for Antioch Adoptions for making it possible. Because I don't know where I'd be without it, because you hear a lot of situations where there's kids that go to places where they don't turn out good. But like this organization made it possible for me to have a family in a home that I can grow from, and I turned out well. So yeah.
How old are you now?
16.
16 now. Yeah, you look like a really happy mom and daughter there. And have you adopted other children as well?
Yeah, we have another daughter. She's 14, and then we actually came alongside of Antioch and some of these other agencies to help the orphan in the foster care system, right? So nurturing them in a home and then transitioning into these future adoptive homes as well, because the need is great. So
you're like a foster parent as well? You help that transition time?
Yeah, we were in that position for over a decade. Mm-hmm.
Over a decade.
Yeah.
What has been your experience as being a foster parent too? People who are maybe thinking about doing foster adoptions, what would you tell them?
Yeah, first you trust God with everything, right? You just know that it's His timing and it's His purposes. And, foster kids do have problems. They do come with issues. They're tenderhearted. They're broken.
Even little 3-year-old Amanda had
absolutely,
problems?
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
She was a baby that came into the system with drug impact issues. And so she had to recover from that. And she went through some intensive therapy for about 3 years that we really had to get her through. But she's obviously doing quite well. So a lot of these kids do come from trauma. And as a foster parent or someone considering this, you do have a road to travel, but it's a road that God calls you to, and to love beyond yourself and love like Christ would have you love. Because these children deserve it, right? They deserve it like even blood children.
Well, the need is very great.
Yeah.
Again, getting back to the foster care system, I've heard it's almost like an epidemic of need of people to step forward and become adoptive parents. Tell us a little bit about this opportunity then for October for people to stand with you at Antioch Adoptions.
Yeah, it's just so significant an opportunity to us, especially who we aren't involved with any government subsidies, should I say. Every penny we get goes a long way towards putting a child in the home, and everything we do goes towards that process, right? We're not, think about, as Tina has just described, these young children who are coming in. The need is there. They want to be loved. For us, we see a significant value in coming alongside our families and making sure they feel supported through any kind of therapy that's needed, any kind of counseling that's needed, or finding a collection of other families come alongside them to provide the support. And so we want to build that family, not just from a staff standpoint, but for those foster families who all will that little difference means a whole lot. That you have a support structure around you, and then you can give as much as you can to these kids that are coming with trauma. So double impact is going to be phenomenal, because in the next year it will allow us to free another 20 kids potentially from bondage.
All right. So how do we get involved? Do you have a website or a phone number we can get in touch with you at?
Indeed, it's AntiochAdoptions.org. There we'll have more of Amanda's story as well as we go through this process. But that's the best place to reach. And then you can literally, there's a tab for giving, and that's where we will receive our donations through the month of October.
Okay. AntiochAdoptions.org. Double Impact Month, all the month of October. Again, thank you, everybody, for coming in and talking with us today. This is just great news that so many young people are being helped, and so many families. I think people who have a desire, maybe, I know me personally, we're thinking about getting involved this way. We've never had our own children, thinking we might like to adopt. Is it okay if you've never been a parent before to still
Absolutely, yes. God gives you grace for anything. So
I think there's another piece of it, Mark, is that what's lovely about what Amanda said to me a few months ago that impacted me is the multi-generational aspect of what goes on with this process. We forget that part. We see the child, which is great, but Amanda said to me, you know what? My father was adopted. I have been adopted. I intend to adopt, no doubt. So now you're talking about 2, 3, 4 generations of impact, because someone decided to take a step a little while back.
AntiochAdoptions.org for more details. Thanks for talking with us today, folks.